Imagine leaving everything behind, your country, your friends, your identity, and stepping into a foreign land with nothing but ambition. For most, survival would be the goal. But for one immigrant kid from Uzbekistan, survival wasn't enough. He wanted diamonds, he wanted the world, and he would get it. This is the story of Jacob Arabo, the man who transformed from a struggling immigrant teenager in New York into the mastermind behind Jacob&Co, the brand that redefined luxury watches and jewelry for hip-hop stars, royalty, and billionaires alike. But this isn't just a success story. It's a tale of obsession, controversy, reinvention, and how a boy chasing the American dream ended up reshaping the very definition of luxury. Jacob was born Jacob Arabo in 1964 in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, then part of the Soviet Union. Life there was gray, controlled, and restrictive. But when his family immigrated to the United States in the late 1970s, the colors of New York hit him like a thunderstorm. The Arabo family wasn't wealthy. They lived modestly, and Jacob, like many immigrant kids, had to help out. At just 16 years old, he dropped out of school, not out of failure, but out of hunger. He enrolled in a jewelry trade school and discovered something powerful. He had a natural eye for design. He wasn't just learning to fix watches or cut stones, he was learning how to turn raw materials into statements of power. By 17, Jacob was working in jewelry repair. By 21, he was already designing his own pieces. He opened a small booth in New York's Diamond District. It was nothing fancy, just a corner of a building packed with dealers, craftsmen, and dreamers. But here's what separated Jacob. While most jewelers stuck to traditional conservative styles, Jacob went bold. Oversized pieces, flashy diamonds, unique settings. He wasn't making jewelry for Wall Street bankers. He was making it for a new generation that wanted their wealth to shine as loudly as their music. Word spread fast. In the 1980s and 90s, hip-hop was exploding. Artists like Biggie Smalls, Jay-Z, and Nas weren't just looking for jewelry. They were looking for identity, and Jacob became their go-to designer. Soon, he wasn't just Jacob Arabo anymore. He was Jacob the Jeweler. By the late 1990s, Jacob&Co became a cultural phenomenon. Athletes, rappers, Hollywood stars all wanted the sparkle that only Jacob could provide. He wasn't selling diamonds, he was selling status. But Jacob didn't stop at jewelry. He moved into watches, creating pieces so bold and complicated that they shocked traditional Swiss watchmakers. The 5-time zone watch, a design with multiple dials, became an instant icon. When he launched creations like the Billionaire watch, a timepiece covered entirely in diamonds, worth tens of millions, Jacob&Co became more than a brand. It was a statement. If you wore Jacob, you had arrived. But success always attracts shadows. By the 2000s, Jacob's name was everywhere, but not always for the right reasons. In 2006, federal investigators accused him of laundering money for Detroit-based drug rings. The media swarmed. Jacob the Jeweler was no longer just the darling of hip-hop. He was now the man at the center of scandal. In 2008, he pled guilty to falsifying records and was sentenced to 30 months in prison. For most entrepreneurs, that would be the end of the story. The empire would collapse, the reputation destroyed. But Jacob wasn't like most entrepreneurs. When he returned, he didn't hide in shame. He doubled down. He rebuilt Jacob&Co, this time focusing not just on celebrity culture, but on the global elite. He took his designs to Geneva, the heart of Swiss watchmaking, and stunned the industry with creations like the Astronomia Tourbillon, a watch with a rotating miniature universe inside. Jacob&Co became a brand courted not just by rappers, but by Middle Eastern royalty. The immigrant kid who once repaired watches in a cramped workshop was now reshaping the very meaning of haute horology. Today, Jacob&Co stands as a brand of extremes. It is bold, unapologetic, sometimes controversial, but always unforgettable. And at its core remains Jacob Arabo, the man who dared to dream louder than anyone else. His story is not just about diamonds and watches. It's about the immigrant struggle. It's about falling, rebuilding, and daring to stand out when the world tells you to fit in. Jacob didn't just build a company. He built a legacy, proof that sometimes the brightest shine comes from those who start in the darkest corners. From Tashkent to Times Square, from immigrant to icon, Jacob's journey asks us a question. What would you do if the world told you to stay small, but you knew you were destined to shine? Because for Jacob Arabo, the answer was simple. Build Jacob&Co and make the whole world watch.